Good morning, everyone. How about that marching band? This is an exciting day for our city, and it is my pleasure to introduce the mayor of our great city, Mayor Robert Sullivan.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome you to the City of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts, on Armand Colombo Field at Rocky Marciano Stadium, Harry Allen Track. I don't want to have my back to the Brockton Boxers band and to the students. I'm a proud graduate of Brockton High, 1988, and I want to, first of all, welcome you all here. Today is a historic day. You know, you have to learn from the past to forge ahead for the future, and I want to personally thank the Colombo family. I had the honor to play for Coach Armand Colombo and now Coach Peter Colombo, 53 years of Colombo legacy here at Brockton High School. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Colombo family. I am really excited about today in Brockton to have the announcement of Jermaine Wiggins to be the next Brockton High School Brockton Boxers football coach. Coach, welcome to the City of Champions. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, when we talk about Brockton High School football, you know, we can always think about Coach Colombo. We can think about assistant coach Merrill and Donovan and Pileski and Fitzgibbons and Devon and Savage and O'Connell and DeMazzo. These are folks that would just give their right arm to Brockton High School and Brockton High School football. We can also think about the legends of people that played here: Ken McAfee, Jay McGee, Odell Wilson, Sherrod Range, Greg McMurtry, Sandy McMurtry, Rudy Harris, the Campbells, Donnell, Carlton, Chris, Anthony Comer, Peter Harris, Judge Mike Williams, and I know Mike is here today, the Marcianos. And then we need to think about those that have gone on: Peter Marciano, Jay McGillis, Tommy Johnson, Mark Dombrowski. These are folks that loved Brockton High School and Brockton High School football. Jermaine Wiggins is a guy that I met last year at the Cape Cod Cafe. He's a guy that grew up in Eastie. And East Boston is very similar to the city of Brockton. We're not wealthy in terms of the financial ledger. We're wealthy with people. We're wealthy because Brockton and Eastie is made up of a diversity. People that are coming here for the better life of their children. A lot of single parents, a lot of people working 2 or 3 or 4 jobs. You know, football on the field is a game that no matter if you go on to college with a scholarship or you never play another down after you graduate, it's something that teaches you a life lesson. It's all mentorship and growing up and understanding collaboration and what it means to be a teammate with commitment and working hard during captain's practices and running on this field. But what Jermaine Wiggins talked to me just a little bit while ago is yeah, X's and O's are important, right? And being successful in the field with wins is extremely important, and you got to get those losses. But what is most important is the boys and girls that play Brockton High School football. And remember, I said girls, right? Remember that. Remember what happened last year, right? Touchdown. It's about understanding how important academics are and getting that diploma. That's the recipe for success. And Brockton has always, because of the Colombos, had a legacy of kids going on to the next level, D1, D2. But it's not everybody. But what Jermaine Wiggins just shared with me and Superintendent Mike Thomas is he's not just going to be a coach. He's not going to surround himself with the excellent people. We've had excellent people. We'll continue to have excellent people coaching here in Brockton. But it's about making sure that the boys and girls understand how important it is to have a GPA, a respectful GPA, and understanding it's not just coaching. It's making sure that you're hitting the books, but you're also volunteering, giving back to the community. So, Jermaine, I want to thank you for what you are, what you're bringing to the table. We're the City of Champions. You're a Super Bowl champion. Welcome. God bless you. Good luck, Brockton Boxers.
Hi, I'm Superintendent Mike Thomas, and I'm not going to be long. I just want to thank the mayor. First, I want to thank the Colombo family for 53 years. I was fortunate when I came to Brockton High to work. I worked 6 years for Armand Colombo, and most people out there knew Armand as the winningest football coach in Massachusetts history. I knew him as a man and the kind of father and mentor he was. And I think a lot of people out there are like, wow, he was the football coach. But when you really got to know the man, Armand Colombo, you will not find a better person in the city of Brockton than Mr. Colombo was. And I was honored, and I am where I am today because the advice he gave me when I came up here as a young administrator and be able to be superintendent was a lot because of the advice Armin Colombo gave me. And I've worked with his son Peter for 20 years. And again, what they've done for Brockton football has been truly amazing. So today we welcome Coach Wiggins. We're thrilled to have him with us. And Brockton, again, has always been great. The City of Champions, and now we have a champion to coach the team in the City of Champions, and we're thrilled to have him with us. But before we introduce him, I'm going to have Principal Cynthia Burns come up, the principal of Brockton High School, to do the formal introduction. Principal Burns.
Thank you, Superintendent Thomas. I also want to thank the Colombo family for a legacy that is, unending. It is my pleasure to be the principal of Brockton High School, the best high school in the state of Massachusetts. So give a round of applause for all of our students up here. We are also the largest high school in Massachusetts, and one of the biggest things that we always, stress with all of our students is Brockton Boxer pride. And I'm so pleased to have Coach Wiggins join us because he exemplifies that issue of pride. It was Patriot pride, and now it's going to be Brockton Boxer pride. So it is my pleasure to introduce Coach Jermaine Wiggins to Brockton High School.
Well, first off, I just want to say, obviously, thank you for having me. Let me get some of my notes here. I had to take down some notes. I like to take down some notes, but it is an extremely proud moment for me. Obviously, the Colombo family. As a kid growing up in East Boston, it's very similar, and it's weird. I don't like to have my back to, these young kids out here. I want them to see that I'm no different than them. I walk their same path. Obviously I didn't grow up in Brockton, but East Boston was no different. I came from basically nothing in the sense. I grew up in a single-parent household. My mother worked multiple jobs. I grew up in an environment where it was a great environment. It breeded pride, East Boston. It taught me all the things that I am today, but there was challenges. And like the Colombo family and the coaches and talked about, the biggest thing for me going on a straight and narrow was sports. Sports kept me off the wrong path. And I have to thank coaches for that. And I've played with some great coaches, obviously Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, my coach down at the University of Georgia and Marshall University, Jim Donnan. But the two coaches that stand out the most to me, because they basically built the foundation, is my basketball coach, Mike Rubin, who coached me at East Boston High School, and my football coach, John Loftus, and taught me all the things that I needed to be taught and how to be successful. And obviously you see what the Colombos have created here, and it's an honor to follow in that footsteps, and it's like I tell my kids, your legacy is great. And to come from a great legacy is one thing, but now you have to create your own legacy, and that's what I intend to do. My goal is to give every athlete that steps on this field skills and tools that I think are so important in life. I want to see them grow into young adults that are successful, that are contributing to their community, that are contributing to their family legacy, their name. I want them to bring back what I remember as a kid growing up in East Boston. I remember when you talked about the gold standard in football, I remember there was really two teams, but it was really one team. It was Brockton and Everett. But generally, Brockton was at the top of that list. And that's something that I want to bring back, and I'm going to do everything in my part. And the third thing on that list is, everybody that straps on a helmet has aspirations, whether that's to play at a Power 5 school like my alma mater, the University of Georgia, or a Division III school. You have a goal. My goal is to help you achieve your goal. And if that's your goal, to play at the highest level possible, my intent is to make sure you're in that position. I'll never forget Willie Mack. I remember Willie McGinnis saying this. He does a lot of stuff with the kids out in California and Long Beach. No books, no looks. No matter how good you are, if you don't have your books, you don't have your education, Coaches are not going to fool with you, but my goal is to help you understand that. And if you do have aspirations of one day playing in the NFL, my job isn't to tell you, well, you probably can't make that. It's going to be too difficult. My job is to tell you that you can. My job is to give you the reality of what it takes to get to that level. But understand, I'm no different than any one of you sitting up in those bleachers. I came from nothing and was able to play at the highest level, at the collegiate level, and at the professional level. And I was a kid from East Boston, and the program that I came from was nothing like what you guys have here. So the biggest thing for me is to make sure that you understand that. The most important thing you have to do, and I tell my two sons this every day, and I'm going to be fair with you, I'm going to treat you like I treat my own kids. I got 2 boys and a girl, and I'm going to treat you guys the same way. I'm going to treat you guys the same way. It's very simple. I'm going to be fair, but I'm going to be hard, but we're going to have fun doing it. And the goal is to help you achieve your goal, no matter what that is, whether it's Division II, Division III, FBS, FCS, Power 5, that is the goal. But in order to achieve that, it's like I tell my kids, at the end of the day, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you got to ask yourself, did you do everything in your power to get you one step closer? Are you doing everything in your power to get you one step closer? Are you taking advantage of the opportunity to get you one step closer? Not just on the field, but also in the classroom. And if you are, then we're going to do our best to help you achieve that goal as a coaching staff. We're going to work together, and we're going to make sure everybody has the opportunity. But you got to work. You got to tell yourself. Always, the one thing I was taught was self-evaluation. You know, Belichick always would say, got to be able to self-evaluate. And I was talking to my wife, and she said this. If you're fortunate enough to get a free education, then that means a school is willing to invest $300,000 into you and your family. And that is something that you should be proud of. You should be proud of that. I'll never forget, I sat at the kitchen table with my mother. It was a long time ago, not too long ago. And I sat at the kitchen table with her, you know, God rest her soul. And she goes, you want to play college football? I said, yep. And there was a coach sitting across from me, Barry Gallup. He was coaching at Northeastern. And he goes, Mrs. Wiggins, we'd love to have your son come play for us at Northeastern. And my mother goes, well, guess what? Can't do it. He can't afford it. And he goes, no. We're going to pay for everything. She goes, well, guess what? He's going to Northeastern. And so just to be proud of that opportunity, my wife said this to me driving over. Imagine somebody handing you $300,000 or your parents or your guardian or whoever's taking care of you and saying, this is going to help you towards your future. That's ultimately what it becomes. And so that is my goal here. That is what I want to do here. That is why I'm here, is to show everybody that looks like me, talks like me, walks like me, and is from a place very similar to where I'm from, that anything can be attained. So I think that's the biggest thing. And I hear that Superman in the background. I like that too. Don't even sweat. I like it. But yeah, I don't want to keep people, because if you don't know, I'm on the radio and I can talk all day long. So I don't want to keep people too long. And I just want to say, once again, I want to thank the Colombo family, because obviously I know what you guys have been able to accomplish here. I'm proud to be part of Brockton High School in the Boxers. I'm proud to now hopefully create a legacy with all these great coaches, all these great kids, and just be, when it's all said and done, the most important thing, when it's all said and done, people will remember you more than anything in life. It's not how much money you got. It's not what you drive. It's not what you wear. Those are all great. But the one thing they're going to remember you more than anything is what type of character he had, she had, what type of character. And I will say this in closing, and I tell my kids this all the time. the worst thing you can be is wasted talent. That's the worst thing you could be. So take that talent that God gave you and let's do something positive with it. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think we have time for maybe a couple questions, and then we're going to get the kids back in the building because it's a little warm out today. Any questions?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead, fire away. They couldn't hear me. I was talking to the kids, so I can't help it.
You've been pretty busy. You're cutting back on any of the other jobs. The house is going to change kind of your daily grind.
No, I ain't gonna change one bit, you know. Every day, my mother used to say, every day above ground is a good day. So I enjoy it. I love it. To me, being on the radio is not a job. I love it. I'm passionate about it. And coaching football and coaching kids and mentoring kids is not a job. It's something that I'm passionate about. So I don't look at it like that. I look at it like this is going to be an awesome experience. And I want to, like I said, I want to be able to give back, and I want to be able to make sure that I'm helping, whether it's 1, whether it's 10, whether it's 50, whether it's 100. I'm helping some young kid accomplish their goal. That it?
Teaching your own kids the game inspire you to teach these kids?
Excuse me?
How did teaching your own kids the game inspire you to teach these kids?
Well, I've always, you know, it's funny. I've always taught these kids. My wife's telling me to stand up here, so I'm gonna hold it. How's this? I'm gonna hold it, right? I've always kind of felt like coaching my kids is the most important thing, because I'm giving things that were given to me. Like I said, whether it was from my basketball coach, whether it was from my football coach, whether it was from Parcells when I was in the league, whether it was from Belichick, I give them the same type of information I was given, and I try to put a little spin on it. So it's going to be the same way when I'm coaching here in Brockton. It's no different. I'm going to treat them the same way I treat my kids. Fair, but I'm going to be on them, but we're going to have fun doing it. And that's what I love to do, give back the football knowledge that I was given.
One more question.
All right, thank you very much.
Football team, you guys can come down to the field.
Hey, Suzanne, take a quick picture of us.
How are you? Thank you for coming. Nice to see you.
Look at her, then look at me.
Thank you.
My turn. Thank you.